Are you overwhelmed with endless to-do lists and competing demands? Well, this time management technique that I'm going to be sharing with you today is going to help you to reclaim your focus and achieve more with less stress. Let's talk about it. It's the Pomodoro Method. The Pomodoro Method was created by Francisco Cicerello, who is Italian, and it is named after the tomato. The Pomodoro is tomato in Italian, and it's named after the kitchen timer, the little tomato kitchen timers that you use, because that's what he used in order to utilize this method. So essentially, what you do is you set a timer for 20 minutes and focus solely on completing a single task during that time period. Once the timer goes off, you take a 5-minute break and then come back to it, set the timer again, and you do this as many cycles as you need in order for you to complete the task. Now, I will say this, once you get to 4 cycles, you definitely need to take a longer break than just 5 minutes. I recommend 20 to 30 minutes. Well, how in the world does this help you as a nonprofit leader to get more done? Well, by identifying what your priority tasks are, or those things that are going to move the mission and the goals that you have for your organization, you can have time blocks set aside where you are strictly focused on those tasks, right? So maybe it is working on developing a new program and you want to map it out. So you would set a specific time on your calendar. Let's say you choose from 10 to 11:30, right? I personally like to work in 90-minute time blocks because research has shown that we have approximately the mental capacity or the mental focus for 90 minutes before it really starts to fall off. So you've decided between 10 and 11:30, you're going to work on developing this new program. So what you'll do is you'll sit down and you'll make a decision on what specifically you want to accomplish during that time block. So maybe it is that you want to do some research, or maybe you want to outline the key objectives that you want to accomplish with this program. So you'll sit down, you'll set that timer for 25 minutes, and you'll spend 25 minutes going through and outlining whatever you have decided to focus on, right? So if we're outlining the key objectives, then that's what your focus is for the 25 minutes. And you'll go until that timer goes off, and then you'll take a brief break. Now, I definitely recommend that you set the timer for 5 minutes for your break so that you don't get swept up in doing other things, right? So maybe, getting into your email or um, answering text messages or whatever the case may be. 5 minutes is all that you need. I recommend during that time that maybe you do some deep breathing exercises. You get up and stretch just a little bit, maybe even take a bio break, go get a drink of water, just something really quickly that you can do, and then sit back down, set your timer for another 25 minutes, and continue until you either bring the task to completion or you hit that final time block period. So if you're doing a 90-minute time block, then you can get 3 Pomodoro cycles into that time block before you start to really need that additional break. Now, we all know that being a nonprofit leader, you probably get inundated with a bunch of interruptions. So, here are a few ways that you can manage those distractions and interruptions so that you can actually have the time to focus on the task at hand. One of the first things I would recommend you do is to go to your key personnel, your direct reports, the people who are most likely to interrupt you while you're doing your focus work, and let them know, hey, I'm getting ready to do some deep work. My door will be closed. Do you need anything before I get started? By having that check in before you get started, they can get any burning questions off of their chest before you dive into your deep work. And then you can afterwards go back around and do another check in just to make sure that there's nothing that came up during the 90 minutes or whatever designated time that you've been focused on your deep work. Another thing that I would recommend that you do is to put your phone on do not disturb or turn it off completely. It's very easy for us to get sucked into picking up our devices at the sound of notifications going off, or even if the ringer is turned off and you have it nearby and you see it light up, knowing that there's something going on there. So I definitely recommend that you either put your phone on do not disturb or turn it off completely so that you are not distracted by that. Also, close out your email. We don't want email notifications popping up, distracting you from whatever the work is. And you can go back in whenever you are completed with the task. And honestly, I recommend that you go through your emails only twice a day, once in the morning and then another time in the afternoon. Your email is really a to-do list that other people get to write on. And so we want to keep that to a minimum. We don't want to get distracted. Another way to minimize distractions or interruptions is to encourage others in your organization to have designated deep work time periods where they can kind of close off from the rest of the organization to focus on their deep work. Now, it would be great if everyone could have that particular same time of the day so that everyone is focusing on the deep work. But we all have our own energetic rhythms, our own work styles and job responsibilities that may not allow us to all have that uniform time that we designate to deep work. But by encouraging that type of environment or encouraging that within your organization, people will understand the importance of allowing you the space to have that uninterrupted time so that you can focus on what's most important. I hope that you will take the Pomodoro method and start to incorporate it into your daily work so that you can advance the mission of your organization, get more done, and do it without all the stress. Have an amazing rest of your day. And as I always say, take care of yourself and each other.